Good morning traders and welcome to today's live trading. Today is Friday the 25th of May and we are on the FTSE 100 as usual. Apologies for not doing the video yesterday. I actually had the internet guys, BT OpenReach engineer, out again yesterday. That's the third time I've had someone out in the last couple of weeks and the internet is still not fixed. He pretty much said that nothing can really be done with it until we get the upgrade, which is going to be in about 6 to 9 months, I think. So it's just a case really of grinding our teeth until that point. So if you do see the tickets disappearing in some of these videos, that is the reason why. The internet just sort of intermittently drops out for a few seconds to a couple of minutes and then it reconnects. It is very, very, very frustrating, but I think we're just going to have to live with it for now. But yeah, so because of that, he was here all morning yesterday, so I missed all the morning price action, and I just didn't really bother in the afternoon, which is a bit of a pain because it looked a decent day. So here's hoping for something similar today. I have no immediate trade setups that I'm looking at. What I think I would like to do is try and trade this down to this band at some point. Obviously it's crossed this 200, so to see it test this potentially, maybe break it, come back, and then give us a sell signal would be good. If I show you the hourly chart, you can see here that we're just sort of, if I plot these along the highs, we're just sort of coming into this level here now. You can see the price action is getting very small as we come into today's open, so it'd be interesting to see what it does at this level, whether it's going to want to start moving back up or continue on this little bit of a correction that it's having. If I show you on the 4-hour chart, you can see we've had this big long move up and just now we're starting to get a correction. Could potentially want to make its way towards this 200 moving average on the 4-hour chart, and I assume the daily looks something, yeah, so the daily 21 is sort of slowly catching up with price now. So yeah, if I go back to the 5-minute chart, make it look something readable. So yeah, that's pretty much what I'm looking at today. Like I say, if it is going to want to start breaking up higher, I would like to see it break the highs, maybe come and test this R1, and then revisit this band and give me a buy signal. Basically just get above these highs from overnight, show that it actually wants to move higher. So yeah, I'll just be waiting for either of those things to happen, and if neither of them happen, I'll be waiting for it to reach either the band above or the band below, and go from there. So 5 minutes till the open, I'm going to get myself a drink and I'll see you later on. Right, we're 10 to 3 and I'm finally going to get a trade off today. I've not done anything all day with this market, so I'm going to put a sell order beneath this candle, so it'll be in at 7708.6. So I'm just going to put that in now. 7708.6. 7708.6. Just double check that that's correct. Yep. Submit that. Okay, so that order's in. We have just gone past there, but it has triggered us in there. So I can bring that ticket across. So we're in just below this signal candle here. The target on this trade will be down to this band here. I haven't actually marked this one in yet. I'll quickly do that so you can see it. Down to this blue box down here. The stop as usual will just be a couple of points above the signal candle, so I will put the take profit in just above, probably around the 700 level, and like I said, the stop loss will be just a few points above there, and we'll see how this one runs. We have had a little bit of news out at 20 past 2, and we've got some less, I think, medium impact news out at 3, but it's US, so it shouldn't have a major impact on this market. But as you can see, from this morning we had this candle and we've slowly trundled down all day. There's been nothing to do with this all day because there's no bands here, so there's nothing I can do while it's in between the bands. It's come down to here, not really had any sort of reaction, moved through it quite easily, and then it's given us this setup candle. So this seems the best trade to take so far today. and it's moving well off straight off the bat, which is a good sign. So I'll put these levels in, and we'll see how this one runs. Okay, so that one has been stopped. It did look like it was going to come down at one point. At this point you're thinking that it was about 3 or 4 points away from hitting the target. All looks good, but then we did just get that reversal, and at the point that it closed back above this ATMA right into here, we did get this mini reaction at the 21, but it was still looking pretty negative at that point, and as you can see we're moving back up past it now. What we could see this afternoon is a bit of Friday afternoon profit taking, so let me show you what I mean. If my internet decides to load the hourly chart, there we go. So Monday was the 21st, which was back here. We had a bit of an up day Monday, Tuesday-ish, and then since then we've obviously sold off quite nicely. And anybody that's been short for the majority of the week, coming into Friday, might be thinking, okay, we've gone 3 o'clock, market closes in a couple of hours, there goes my account again. This is likely a decent place to take a little bit of profit, or close some positions if they have any. So what we might see is a little bit of a rally this afternoon. Which I was thinking as it first approached this band, but when it moved past it so easily, it looked like I was thinking that might occur down at this band here, but that hasn't happened. So if we do get price moving up and then moving back down into here, we could potentially look for a long. The problem with that is, I'm going to bring the hourly chart up again, is this ATMA that's quickly catching price up on this chart, and we're going to be trading right into that, and that's been untested for a good 5 or 6 hours. It's not so much a problem on the 4 hour because it's miles away. It's up at the pivot, as you can see there, look. So that wouldn't be too much of a problem trading into that, but here it's only at 30 now, which doesn't give us much room to play with. On the 5-minute chart, 30 is just here, mark it in just there. So by the time it's broken up and then given us a signal, if that does happen, there isn't going to be much room to this target, so the risk to reward on that trade's probably not going to be ideal. So maybe we don't take a long. Depends really where it sets up. Obviously you can see we're getting a little bit of a structure level across here with these pins. We're also getting one just at the top of the band here, so this one would be better, but it's definitely more riskier to take it from there. This one's probably less riskier, but the actual risk to reward on the trade won't be great, so it'd be difficult. We'll just have to see what price does from here, so I'll keep watching. Okay, so we're now 5 o'clock today. Today's trading has finished, and as I was mentioning earlier, we were likely to see some buying going into the close today, and at around 3:30 to the close of play at 4:30 we did get a bit of that. You can see this was the trade that we took here where it bounced. It did actually have another go. This candle here, oops, this big red one there is the sort of candle that can trap traders into bad positions. You can see if anybody took the same sort of signal I did, it comes up, takes your stop out, then you get this big engulfing candle. Traders have a knack of just rushing back into trades, getting caught again on the short side, and then ultimately getting stopped out. And what tends to happen is when somebody takes an emotional trade like this, their stop is either not there at all, or it's really wide. And you can see with the rally that came into the end of the day, they're likely to either get scared out for much more risk than they would have set out to actually risk in the first place, or if they put a wide stop, then they ultimately just get stopped anyway. So yeah, it's a tricky one, that. But we couldn't really take advantage of the rally that came at the end of the day because we'd broken down below this band. and without a break above and a retest, it just didn't give us anything. And you can see it started breaking through at about 4 o'clock, which gives you half an hour to comfortably break above and retest and then go again. So it was never really going to be feasible today, and especially if I show you the hourly chart, if it loads up. I'll bring this one across. You can see that as we moved up here, it's come up. Let me show you on the big one. That we came right into this ATMA. So this was the first test of this as it made its move down. You always tend to get a reaction at some point here, and we did. Granted, it was a little bit delayed, really into the highs of here. But still, it's managed to close right back below the ATMA, which is not too surprising considering it's the first test. Excuse me. So yeah, that's pretty much all I managed to do today, was that one trade. I think it ended up being about, let's have a look, it was here. Yeah, so it's about an 8 or 9 point loss on that one. The risk reward on that trade wasn't fantastic. I think it was around 1 to 1, but the setup looked really good with the momentum that we've had all day to the downside. It looked a good setup, but it's been quite a tricky week actually. We've had decent movement. Yesterday was similar, decent movement, but just not really the setups to go with it. As it came down to this band here, you can see we've got a little bit of a bounce, but no real setups. It moved straight through it, and then the setup that nearly came was this one here, but it's not quite touching the band. I was actually looking for a retest of this level here that we never got, and it sold off all the way down to the band below. So the risk to reward on that trade would have been fantastic if this had happened just a little bit further up, but as it happened, I just didn't get involved in that one. And that's really been the story all week. It's been a tricky old week, but I'll wrap it up there. Like I said, I hope you've found value in these videos, even on the losing days or days where nothing happens. You can see for a vast portion of today there was not a lot to do, and just sitting on your hands can be pretty tricky sometimes, and it can be even trickier actually when you sit on your hands all day, you finally get a trade, and then you don't get your rewards for your patience because you actually have a losing trade. But it's all part of trading, unfortunately. But yeah, I hope you find value in the videos. If you have enjoyed them, please do consider leaving a like and subscribing, and I'll see you next week.